Okay, finally we can talk about Umar Nurmagomedov, which is kind of weird because I did a video about Usman, his brother, yesterday. Totally unrelated. Just happened that way. All of a sudden, today, about 2 hours ago, and I waited for a while. I was hoping that he would say something, but 2 hours is just as long as I'm going to wait. Ali announced finally somebody accept fight with Umar for March 2nd. Now, just everything about this is just kind of weird timing-wise and in every possible way. So you might already know that Umar has been asking for a fight for quite a while. All over Twitter, everything, nobody will fight him. I don't really blame him. Umar is in a weird spot where his ranking is low in the top 15. What is he, 13 or something, I think? Actually, let me just look because I didn't write it down. It is, 13. He's number 13, but he's good enough to be number 1. So it's tough for someone to accept a fight like that if they're ahead of him because there's a good chance they get beat. So you don't want to claw your way all the way up to a top 5 spot or something like that. Then lose to Umar, who's number 13. What's your benefit? Nothing. Not unless they're going to give you a bunch of money, which maybe that's what happened. It's hard to tell. So, I mean, this video literally could be 2 hours long because there's so much going on with it. But recently, Coach Javier, a while back, for instance, he said, whenever Umar finally gets a fight, that's when I'll come back from Dubai and train with him at AKA. Just today, a video came out before this news came out, from Javier with Scott Coker. And somewhere in there, I can't remember his exact wording, I didn't have a chance to go back and look, but he said something about coming back. But he didn't say because Umar had a fight, but that kind of tipped me off earlier today when I was listening, and I was like, aha, he's expecting to come back soon, so something's up with Umar, because that was what he said when he has the fight, or maybe if Islam would have had a fight, but he doesn't. So just those little pieces that they don't say, but they kind of point in a direction. So here's the thing. Obviously, he didn't say who it is. Somebody. Accept, it should be accept. A, not E. Anyway, if they accepted, must be they're waiting for the signed contract before he announces it, or waiting for the UFC to announce it. That's probably it. Because the UFC, when the UFC announces it, that's when it's signed and it's official. So that makes sense. Now you switch over to the rankings and you take a look. As we were saying, number 13 is Umar. So then you say, okay, most likely it would be somebody ahead of him. It's entirely possible it's somebody behind him because nobody ahead of him really wants to fight him. But let's just go with that. So you got Sean O'Malley. Obviously, he already has a fight set up for March 9th with Cheeto. So that's obviously off the table. That puts you down to Merab. Merab has a fight coming up the 17th of February with Henry Cejudo. So you got number 3, Henry Cejudo. That's off. Corey Sandhagen doesn't have a fight. So that's cool because I'd love to see him fight Sandhagen. That would be an awesome fight. Then you go down to number 5, Peter Yan. He has a fight on March 9th with Song Yadong. So then you go down to Marlon Vera, which is Cheeto. Obviously, he's already got a fight. Song Yadong, he's already got a fight. Davison Figueiredo, he's already fighting Cody Garbrandt on April 13th. So that's off table. Rob Font doesn't have a fight. That would be a great fight. I'm absolutely fine with that. Number 10, Dom Cruz. He does not have a fight. That would be awesome. But I highly doubt that it's Dom. Dom already has a schedule. of commentating. I don't know, because I haven't paid close attention, because like John Anik and some other people will talk about who's doing which show. I don't really remember what's been said, but that's pretty much off the table. Number 11, Pedro Munoz. He's fighting Phillips. And I forgot the date. It's coming up. So he's already got a fight. And then number 12, Jonathan Martinez. Maybe. I don't really know Martinez very well. But I don't know that would be the best fight in the world. Umar can be champ. No problem. Maybe, and I would like to see 1 or 2 more fights with him before he does take a title shot. But I think on any given day he could be champ. He's that good. If you haven't watched him, watch him. Do yourself a favor, because he's that good. But it's crazy because there's so many things, and here's another one. Here's the last craziness that I'm going to bother to mention. You go to the events. What's the one that's blank? You guessed it, Saturday, March 2nd. To be determined versus to be determined. And you go, oh, okay, well, that's just the headliner. They're just not quite sure. Oh, yeah? Who's fighting on that card? There's nobody on that card. Nobody. Not one person yet. So that makes me think they offered somebody money to fight Umar. Okay, we're getting in the conspiracy realm. Okay, just for the record, I'm not one of those crazy Twitter troll guys. I'm not saying this is happening. I'm not saying any of this is fact. What I'm saying is logical things point to logical things. So I'm just saying what might make sense. Could be totally wrong. I would not say that I know any of this at all. But my guess is that Umar and someone else will headline it, and they offered somebody money. It's a fight night. You put Sandhagen or Font in there against Umar, that's a good headliner. So, hopefully, it's one of those two, because that'll be a killer fight.